Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariya. This channel is about spirituality. Please subscribe below so we can be YouTube friends. Welcome to my November energy update. In this video, we're going to be dissecting the energies of November, the things you should be aware of, the broader themes of the month, and how you can best prepare. As well as this video is meant to be a guidepost, a guiding light into the energies of November, and make sure that you are making the best of them. That's that. Let's dive in. I want to dub November the month of thorns and valleys. This is somewhat poetic, so I'll explain. You have periods in the month of November that feel uncomfortable, where there's a lot of tension. And the tension generally comes from newness. And that is what I would refer to as the periods of thorns. The picture that they're showing me is somebody going up a mountain, but as they're climbing up a mountain, they are stepping on all of these thorns. And sometimes when we step on thorns, our feet bleed. But the mountain is worth it. And that is very much the energy of November. We have anchored a lot of newness in the month of October. Ironically, it was not yet the month to see our vision come to fruition. But in the month of October, enough of you have been getting downloads. Enough of you have been faced with, call it a new calling, with something that you were meant to be doing with your lives. Because remember, we're ending the 9-year cycle. So you're going to start receiving guidance for what's next. What is going to be important for the next 9 years of your life, at least, and maybe more. And some of you have already received the guidance. Some of you have been working through your shadows and really fully being on the path. Now, the month of November is us starting to climb a new mountain. But nobody said it was going to be easy. When we consciously select a new direction for our lives, when we say yes to the calling of spirit, when we say yes to development, when we say yes to growth over complacency, we're signing up for a very interesting ride. And that is what the month of November is all about. So we're going to start climbing mountains. And just like with everything new, these shoes haven't been worn yet. So there's a little bit of the discomfort in the walking, which means that yes, you can make mistakes in the month of November, and that's completely okay. Some of us are going to be faced with having to learn new things, new skill sets, having to interact with the energies, the frequencies that we've never interacted with before, being put out of our comfort zone. And that is what I mean by the month of thorns. So you do have that thorny side. You do have that challenge of the hero's journey coming front and center in the month of November. By the way, it can come in different areas of your life. You can be challenged in the area of career or money or relationships or something else that is entirely unique to you. And understand that by picking a mountain, you have already signed on to the ride, and understand that certain things just come with the territory, and it is beautiful. So learn in the month of November to see beauty in the challenge. Learn to see beauty in bleeding from your feet. Sounds terrible, but in other words, accept the thorns, because the thorns are not there to be vindictive. The thorns are just part of the journey. And when we welcome them in full surrender, you would notice that the little spiky terrain is going to turn into something that is very plush and fluffy and loving and cuddling very, very soon. So in the month of November, you are going to be moving with a lot of new energies. There's a lot of newness that's coming. Some of it is going to be very welcome and like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm finally feeling this way. And some of it is going to be like, wow, I can't believe I'm feeling this way. I thought we were done. And newness around not necessarily the old patterns coming back, but certain things that almost like new layers are opening up. Like even if we're talking healing, for instance, right? Sometimes you feel like it's the same lesson over and over again. It's not the same lesson. It's you on a different level experiencing some of the same patterns. So that's the part of the month that are the spikes or the thorns. There is another big chunk of the month, especially towards the middle and the end, where you have the valleys. And the valleys is when a lot of people are going to experience the energies of outer flow, or just the energies of flow, simply put. What does that mean? That is when things are simply aligning. When there are all of these doors that are lining up for you and you are just breezing through. When things are going to be effortless. When certain doors are just going to open because it's time. And so November is a month of beautiful synchronicities. some of the things that you worked for and you really earned. And finally, it's a month where some of your good karma can actually be cashed in, taken to the bank, and then you receive all of the things. Because of that, a big chunk of the month, maybe like a good 50%, feels like a valley that is rich and luscious and beautiful. And it is so easy to walk in that valley. It is pleasurable. That is what I love November for, frankly. So even if some parts of the month, the energies feel harsh, they feel like you're moving through a lot of resistance, that is the thorny part because you're being pushed and again, taken out of your comfort zone. There are other parts of the month that come as a soothing balm, and they're just taking you into deep rest and deep relaxation and, frankly, deep sense of contentment with who you are and where you are as a human, which comes so rarely because most of the time, the energy that I gather from humanity is dissatisfaction, striving for something, seeking something, but not so much contentment. And you're going to get a lot of that in the month of November. Beautiful time to open up your heart, spend time with a family, loved ones, really deepen your relationships. November is not for surface level talk. It's not for surface level relationships. Go deeper. You would be surprised the level of depth some of your community is meant to meet you at. It's also going to be a beautiful month for some of you to come out of your spiritual closet. If you have been hiding and if you felt like nobody was going to understand you, the month of November is actually a really opportune time to be seen and to show your true colors. And you may be surprised how warmly some people receive you. They will receive you as family. And for some of you, it comes as a coming out of sorts to just a single human, right? Like if some of you are not meant to come out in front of the world. Some of you are meant to just come out to a single human and be received in that and be grateful. What else? Let's look at the blessings and the opportunities of the month. On the good side, November is smooth sailing in a sense that it's a very flowy month. The energies are not very abrupt. They're not very rushed. They are very steady as you go, very earthen energies in a way. That's why I'm getting the analogy of climbing up that mountain. At the same time, it is not for earth energies, and earth usually moves slow. This is not going to feel like slow because you're walking up a terrain that is ever shifting and ever changing. But it's a very smooth transition kind of month. Finally, we're getting good night's rest. That is a respite, and that's fantastic news after October when we have not been getting that much, or when we felt like somehow we were being woken up in the middle of the night, and it's not always for a good reason. It's not always because guides have something good to say. Sometimes it's just like the inability to fall asleep and that anxiety of like mental activity. November does bring a respite from the busy mind and the busy thoughts. Not to say, of course, I mean, we are a logical-based society. Take this comment with a grain of salt because we're still all going to always apply logic and a lot of mental activity to everything that we do. But comparatively speaking, the month of November is a good respite from the busy mind, which is good because that means that the energies of the heart can really truly rise up and we can get into that equilibrium between masculine and feminine energies instead of being just too much of one and not enough of the other. Another blessing of November are beautiful mother energies. It's a very motherly month, usually during the times of the valleys, not the thorns. Although, hey, stern mothers and tough mothers are also very necessary sometimes, and those could be the best mothers to enable your growth. So those are motherly energies. Parts of November feel like a pink, fluffy plush blanket that you just get wrapped in, and then it's just so beautiful. And give yourself permission to take from the Divine Mother in the month of November. Understand that taking a resource from someone, even if that someone is the divine, is a voluntary game, meaning nobody is going to force you to take the healing. Nobody is going to force you to take the abundance. Nobody is going to force you to take the nurturing. You have to stretch out your hand and say yes. And remember, in the month of November, you are the child of the universe. You don't really control much. You are going to be controlled or led or guided in the month of November, even more so than normal. And so surrender to embodying the child archetype, because only by embodying the divine child can you be the frequency match to being nurtured by the Divine Mother. And understand that if you are going to be open to the embodiment of that child archetype, certain things are just going to come your way because that is the law. Your divine parent is going to protect you, is going to take care of you as a child, because that is just how energies flow. The challenges of the month, well, of course, the thorns. I mean, that's kind of obvious because a lot of us don't like moving through pain. A lot of us don't love moving through challenge. A lot of us don't love when it hurts and we're bleeding. And of course, it's figuratively, not necessarily literally. And what could that mean to you literally? It may feel like a part of you is ready to die and has to go, but it's such a painful death. Or something else is falling away, you're not ready to let it go. Or you're putting on, like I said, the new shoes and they're not worn in yet, and everything hurts and everything creates blisters. So it's a little bit of that energy of like, why is everything so new and everything is happening at the same time? Why I'm being challenged in this way? Why can't things just stay status quo? And the answer is because they're not meant to. Okay, let's see what else. We're going to do the energy reading like we always do. I'm going to give you 3 objects, and based on which object you select, I'm going to do a little reading of what energies you should prep yourself for in the month of November. Okay, let's see what the 3 objects are. The first one is a cheetah. The second object is a fir tree, or a Christmas tree, if you will. A cheetah, a Christmas tree, and a sneaker. A cheetah, a Christmas tree, and a sneaker. One single shoe. I don't know. Not multiple. I don't know. Spirit works in mysterious ways. What are you going to do? So pick your favorite. Some of you are meant to pick 2. If you are one of the people meant to pick 2 to make yourself wrong for it, you're meant to. Okay. If you picked a cheetah, it is because something is brewing in your life. You are prepping for something big. In the month of November, your cheetah is going to accumulate resources. So you may feel a little bit lethargic. You may feel a little low energy. You may feel a little bit under the weather even. But it is because your cheetah is gathering strength for the leap forward. And I mean energetically, it could be even a quantum leap. It could be you needing or wanting to manifest something really big in your life through the energy of that cheetah. But it is the cheetah that is idle and the cheetah that is passive and the cheetah that is hunting. And so if you have selected a cheetah, don't make yourself wrong for not going after everything that you need to be going after in the month of November. You are not meant to be in battle, sword swinging just yet. In fact, what the cheetah in a passive state is meant to do is just tune in to the surroundings. Get really good at reading energies, get really good at reading people, get really good at observation, not necessarily at the jump. So you are gathering energy, you're collecting energy. You may start getting insights what you're actually collecting energy for. You may start getting guidance from spirit that feels like very aligned and very next level. And that is going to be very, very beautiful for my cheetahs. There will be, as a cheetah, a few moments where you're going to be tempted to go for it, to go for the kill, so to say. November is not the time to do that. So have patience, right? There's a little bit of that impatience coming through for the cheetahs, or like them wanting everything yesterday, and understand that a cat cannot hunt all day, every day. The cat, just like you, needs a moment of respite and reset. Okay, the Christmas tree, the fir tree. Well, they're really showing me a tree without really any decorations, so it's just green, that evergreen tree. Let's see, if you have selected the fir tree, they want you to reconnect to your ancestors is what it is. In the month of November, you are being hit with either some karmic knots from your ancestors or some gifts from your ancestors. And it's your ancestors needing to be heard, needing to be seen, needing to be acknowledged by you. And by the way, for some of you, it may come as toothache, like phantom toothache, like, ooh, my tooth hurts. It's not your tooth hurting, it's your ancestors seeking contact. Sometimes your ancestors need to pass on a particular artifact to you. They may need to pass on a particular message or object or frequency or whatever that may be. And sometimes in order to get through to you, they will give you a toothache. And the way to get rid of the toothache is not to go to the dentist, but to go specifically into the tooth that is hurting, almost like go up to the root of that tooth and ask your ancestors, like, what is the message? What is the gift? Like, what is it that you need me to know right now? And tune in. And you would notice that the moment you receive that thing, the toothache is going to be gone within like literally 3 minutes. So that's that. Meditate with your ancestors. There are multiple meditations on One Mother. If you search in the Discover tab by ancestors, there are multiple ways to connect For you, it's really important to go into the roots, to draw on your power. They're saying that you need your power for what's coming next, and specifically next calendar year, 2026. And things are going to get really busy for you for the rest of the year. So November is really the time to tap into your hidden reservoirs of power that really dwell as an extension of your ancestors. They are an extension of your ancestors. And there are certain gifts or certain energies that you need to integrate inside of your body for that next year to be as seamless as possible. Okay, let's see. That is my Fir Tree people. Last but not least is a sneaker. If you have selected a sneaker, it is because you need to get going with something. You have perhaps been procrastinating for something too long. Or if you haven't been procrastinating, the road is opening up in front of you and it is time for you to take action. You're not meant to stay where you are. It is a metaphor, right? Like a sneaker, a shoe, a walking shoe, right? Like it's time for you to walk away from something, a situation that is not serving you, a job that you don't love, a salary that does not reflect your value in the world, things like that. An abusive person that's just sucking the life out of you and you're just trying to save them, or you being this understanding human, but then there's nothing in it for you in that relationship. There's a lot of that. And so ask yourself, like, what is it that I'm meant to release? What is it that I'm meant to move away from? And get going, get on the road. And understand that for you, actually, in the month of November, if you get going, you're going to experience the least amount of thorns. It's like there's a red carpet that they're rolling. Like spirit is rolling out in front of you. And that red carpet is plush and fluffy and really fun and really good. And you're just meant to walk alongside this carpet. And it's all going to be taken care of you. And they're saying trust and believe that whatever changes you're making right now, no matter what discomfort it brings in the moment, it is for your greater good. So Spirit is asking you to trust and your North Star in the fact that you're being led and you're being guided, because changes in the month of November are not for nothing, you guys. They are predestined, if you will, predetermined and pre-loved by your higher self, pre-selected by your higher self. And so every single challenge is going to matter. Please let me know in the comments which object you have selected and if it resonates. Let me know if there was something in the energies of November from last month that you really lived and you really experienced. I'm super, super curious to know. Oh, by the way, if you're curious, I'm in Greece. This is a Greek backdrop, and I love coming to Greece in September, October. It just feels like a really, really proper homecoming for me. My third year in a row. And yeah, just in case you were wondering. That's that, my darlings. And if you need a little pick-me-up for the energies of November, manifest with the ancestors in the One Mother app. Alrighty, sending you a big, warm hug. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, darlings!